I just want to go on record and say that we have stirred up the nest, and what happens next is so very critical. I want to say it one more time. I want to go on record and say that we have stirred up the nest, and what happens next is very critical. Because I want you to understand it's crucial, okay? It's very crucial. I want you to know this. I was in prayer this morning, and I'm like, God is so good. God revealed to me in prayer today that He is showing the world that He will not be mocked. And also He's showing the world that His children will not be deceived. I want to say it just one more time because I want to make sure that you get it. What happens next is very crucial. God revealed to me in prayer. He said that He would not be mocked and His children will not be deceived. Thus saith the Lord. I want you to understand something. For a very long time, inauthentic human beings thought that they could use their power and their influence to inflict more pain onto God's greatest creation, which is you. Inauthentic beings thought that because they had all the money and the power in the world, that they could control you. They thought that they could continue to lie and deceive mankind. They thought that they could continue to put up idols for people to worship. They thought that they could participate in dark places and occult practices and make sacrifices unto false gods. They thought that they could do full-blown rituals at their concerts and things to have you so tied into a demonic frequency. But God has showed me that He has flipped the switch to let the enemy know that you can have all the money in the world. What profit a man anyway to gain the world and lose his soul? You can have all the influence in the world, but one thing they don't have, one thing God showed me, is that you don't run the world. Even though you may think you run the world, you don't run the world. And I told you guys that it's spiritual. The most powerful part of all creation is spiritual. It is so very spiritual. And I told you last week that the reason that it was a flooding of illegals in this country in particular and throughout different pockets in the world is because spiritually God has unleashed His spiritual army in the atmosphere. It happens spiritual first and then physical later. And I want you to understand it just one more time today. Ooh, I'm trying to get myself together. Shonda, calm down. Oh, God says, I'm not a man that I shall lie, and I will not be mocked, and my children will not be deceived. I want you to know that greater days are coming for you. Things that you have imagined is going to come to materialize for you. The space in your mind that used to be occupied by low beings and it used to be distracted with just sinful things in nature. God has revealed to me that that space in your mind has been restored unto Him so that you can begin to hear on a whole nother level of frequency. Because I want you to understand that where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is clarity, there is peace, there is love, there is self-care for other people. There's so much joy and so much abundance for everybody, not for a particular party, not for a particular group, and not for idols, but it is free for everyone. See, we have entered in a space of letting freedom begin to echo throughout this whole world, throughout this whole universe. And I want you to understand that you are the bridge, or as I would say, the gatekeeper. See, the enemy thought that he had gatekeepers in high places to make people do immoral things in order to access goods and services. But what the Lord revealed to me is that we are the bridge to the unseen thing. God says that with the word of God, He says, let there be light, and it showed up. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God, and the Word is God. So indeed, you are a reflection of an idea in the mind of God. So therefore, you have dominion and power in the earth, and you have used that dominion and that power. And I want you to understand that in order for us to keep the spiritual momentum going, in order for us to continue to see the hand of God move, we have to understand that sometimes God will allow pressure to enter into an atmosphere so that you can pray. So now that God has released the hand of the devil off of you, it's going to take even more prayer. It's going to take even more fasting. It's going to take you stepping away from the things that you have been programmed to be into. It's going to take you being the salt of the earth. It's going to take you stepping more so into your roles in this hour. It's going to take you being completely committed to the call of God that is on your life. For somebody who has a business that you want to start, it is going to happen for you. To somebody that wants to contribute to humanity, to make our lives busy, I speak life. It's going to happen for you. For those of you who have something that is holistic, that can help heal the human body, it's going to happen for you. For those of you who want to get in certain parts in arts and entertainment, listen to me, it's going to happen for you. I want you to understand that God is saying that he will not be marked and you will no longer be deceived. I want you to know that every dark thing that is in a high place is being shut down, is being knocked down. God told me that he is leveling the playing field so that his children can take possession in high places in this earth. We have to stay connected though. You have to remain in the vine. You have to remain in God. And although the enemy thought that he could stay on top, he thought that he could continue to have a war against our children. He thought that he could continue to flex idols in our faces to convince us. But God has begun to really show us what's for real in this time. And in order for us to keep possession of the power, in order for us to continue to make changes in the earth, we have to stay connected to God and the word of God more so now than ever. Because I want you to understand, baby, that you have stirred up the nest of hell and they have taken notice, baby, because I want you to understand that God will not be marked and you will no longer be deceived. And until the next video, guys, peace, because I still be believing in you. Bye now.